Welcome to OTR, a friendly debate. Now, here we are on the streets of Chicago, or at least at a brewery in Chicago, Metropolitan Brewery to be exact. And we're here to do another a little mini debate, this time actually with Pat. Uh, and today we'll be
Glad I can
discussing
make it.
Androids versus iPhones. So we don't have a coin today, but who feels confident? Who wants to get started in this one?
Give this to him.
I mean, you've never actually owned both phones, right?
I have not.
And to clarify, Pat, you're defending who? Or you're repping
well,
who?
Android, I guess, since I'm the only one with actual experience.
Okay.
I feel like, what does that say though? Like, maybe I just don't need anything other than an iPhone.
Well, let him do his intro and
Yeah.
see where it goes from there. Well, and then I'll guide you for a bit.
Okay. So I think that if you're going to pick Android, there's a sense of win. The early days of Android, and certainly the first iPhone, really sucked. I mean, I was in high school. I think it was 2007. It was awful. But I think Android 10 and onward have really made strides in making it more consumer friendly. And so I'm going to be arguing for more recent, Android, and I think that gives you everything you want. And especially with their new update, focuses on security, so you don't have to no longer be a paranoid Android.
I am just eager at this one because there's
right.
so many things that he just said. So they're trying to make strides, sure, but they're far from it in terms of what'd you say? In terms of security, I'm pretty sure that iPhones have the lockdown on security. In terms of what's user friendly, it's iPhone for sure. I mean, just when you open it right out of the box, everything is right in your face. You don't have all these, hidden programs that you have to deal with. You don't have the setup that you have to deal with. It's just ready to go. In terms of their apps, they do have the best selection of apps, their app store. In terms of, customizing your iPhone, different cases, you can map out your iPhone to your smartwatch, to your iPad, to whatever controls your home. It's all connected, and you can just get a message to your watch. You could get it to your laptop. You could get it to your desktop. Wherever you go, convenience. iPhone.
So I want to point out here that the fact that we only have two mics is really preventing me from cutting in on Lando. I want to say that A, he's a coward because he uses a phone case, and B, Apple TV sucks, whereas Google Chrome has completely dominated the smart TV ecosystem. So yeah, you're talking about getting something on your iPad. Anything that has a Google Chrome browser, I can share tabs and screens between.
So have you guys?
So it's bigger than I guess Android if we're talking about ecosystem.
Have you guys had both?
I've
devices?
had both. Yeah, I this year got an iPhone for work.
Yeah.
I've had an iPad for a number of years, but mainly as just a recipe display tablet in the kitchen. Because Android tablets are garbage. Happy to admit that. But what about you?
We're talking phones, though. Yeah.
I haven't had one. I talked to them about it before on whether or not a Razr, the flip phone counts as Android. That was the last non-iPhone that I've had. So, was that 2009 maybe when I had it? I don't know if that's when the last ones came out. But
even into smartphones at that point.
I think they're coming back too, the Razr phones. But no, so just iPhones.
Well, they are back. They've been back.
They never left.
Foldable. You can't fold an iPhone.
So, one of you got into user interface, Orlando, I think, right? What do each of you like about your phone's interface and accessibility, I guess, in terms of
Let's just lean in.
in terms of being easy to understand and when you get a new phone, easy to learn. If you were to switch from one to the other, what would be easy to learn and pick up pretty quickly?
I think that the at least launcher and even the stock launcher for Android, there's obviously custom ones you can get. They're way more customizable.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, all I wanted on my my iPad was a shortcut so I can click it and I can go to like all the documents we have on our shared drive for like our notes for the podcast. This was a fucking process. Whereas I can go in and click a single file in on my Android phone and pin it to my start screen, no problem. Pin it to my home screen, no problem. I can put widgets and things which Apple didn't have for the longest time that are really easy to do. You're talking about home automation. I have like light switches on my phone, and it doesn't give me some crap where I have to like go in to figure out how to do it. So ease of use and customization.
Light switches. What do you like?
Like smart lights.
The light on your phone? A flashlight? iPhones have that right in the homepage. You turn that shit on.
I have like a third-party, non-Google based, non-home HomeKit based smart lighting system, and so yeah, I can like turn the lights in my kitchen on and off remotely because I probably like got a beer and forgot to turn them off. But it's just like right there on the thing, and I don't know.
What is that right there?
Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Google Pixel 5a, which is a smaller phone because I don't have the smallest stands, but I don't have big ones either. And all the iPhone 13s Max shit, they're enormous. I'm looking at the tripod right here, and it's straining under the weight.
It's not the best tripod.
It's not the biggest phone either.
Tell me, what you like.
So, I mean, you're talking about the home page and having everything there. You've got turning stuff on in your home. I mean, that could be customizable. You get an app. I've got stuff in my home where I just download an app. Works perfectly fine on iPhone.
I'm just saying that I think there's a flexibility in there that I found lacking in trying to get things to work on my iPad.
So
That was
more
a frustration
customizable, you
for
think?
me, you know?
What do you think you were getting at? Something with like maybe like bugs or like issues with phones? Like, do you think Androids have a lot of bugs, and what do you think has like the most like issues that you might come across?
So I mean, Apple in general, just because their security is so like far ahead of Android. I mean, you have a Mac, you're not going to get all these viruses that you're going to get off on a PC. You have an Android phone, you're probably first time you watch porn on that bad boy, you're getting a virus. All right, you could go strong with it. Well, she knows what I'm talking about. You go strong on an iPhone. You could.
For the record, I don't.
This is maybe beside the point, but there is a reason I got my father a Chromebook. As a low-cost, virus-free alternative.
Oh, God.
So,
all right.
Next question, Moochie.
Let's move on to the final question. To sum up, what's something that we haven't discussed that you just want to point out that's interesting or like you just want to highlight about your product?
So I think the main thing with iPhones is just it's very user friendly, and it's it's kind of trendy, and when you get an iPhone, you can really pair it up with everything that you have, and that's kind of the thing, right? There's a new iPhone coming out like every year and a half, and there's lines to get these phones, even though the last one was perfectly fine and it's still working. But there's new features with each one. They're easy to use. People understand them. You don't have to be a techie guy like Pat to work your phone. I mean, really, it's a handheld computer, right? So to have a computer that's very easy to use, I think is beneficial to the majority of people. And then when you pair that up with your Mac, with your iPad, with your smart home, whatever it is, not including Apple TV. I think I had one of those Apple TV boxes, but didn't really use it. But
I think you get a free Apple TV Plus with for a year if you get a new iPhone or something.
Yeah.
So you can watch Ted
Or
Lasso
they have
and
the
stuff.
app that's on everything else. Yeah.
Ted Lasso
Yeah.
and Succession and stuff.
I think that's their main takeaway there. It's just very user friendly, and there's a lot to match up with your iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely, to make everything work seamlessly like that, limit what you can do with it. That's, call me a tech guy, but as someone who's actually interested in making things work for me,
Yeah.
I think
I definitely meant it as an insult.
Yeah, whatever, I'll wear it. But I think Android offers kind of something for everyone. You have foldable phones in like vertical or horizontal orientations. You have stuff that's at way different price points. I mean, what's the standard iPhone for a new one cost now?
I
The
just wait till
lowest,
my
Is it four figures?
I just wait till my
Not
credit
the
card
lowest, no.
points rack
Yeah,
up so I
right.
could use those.
But you know,
I'm waiting for a trade-in to get
there's
the new one.
mid and lower tier Android phones that,
Spoiler.
if you don't want to shell it $1,000 for a phone, are available and actually fairly decent. We've reached a point now where hardware and processors and stuff have just been decreasing in price. So you ask yourself what you're paying for, but there's a flexibility, there's a choice that Android offers you, and personally, I find that appealing. And why limit yourself? You know,
So, did you guys want to add anything to do a brief closing, or
No.
is that basically that seemed like a
Yeah,
closing
yeah,
for both of you guys?
I'm
Actually,
done. I mean,
what's
I can keep
one thing you would
arguing, but
highlight, and then you
is this not the end?
yes. So, yeah, I mean, I think
What do
I'm
you
a little
think,
bit biased because I have always had an iPhone, and I really have no intention of switching over. I like the ideas of the customizability and everything, but I'm just like I feel like I'm never really gonna use that or like need to use it. I got enough other things to worry about, so I'm going with
Viruses.
iPhone this time. Yeah, I don't worry about virus or anything like that. So I'm going with iPhone. It's just what I've always known, and yeah, I don't feel like I need to like learn something new.
Well, I'm glad you're limiting yourself.
Yeah, I'm limiting myself, but it's okay. It's just a phone.
Throwing in the towel. You're in your 30s. You're giving up already.
I'm giving up on like learning how to work things on my phone. So yeah, if that's something I can erase from a need to worry about, then that's fine. So this was a brief, friendly debate. Lando gets. Do we do points for these?
I don't know.
Many points.
Mini points. You get a minuscule little
Okay.
tenth of a point or whatever.
Well, that's more than some people
for all of
get
you
on a
keeping
regular
track of the
episode.
totals. Yeah, exactly. Follow us on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, OTR debate,
Cash
and
App, Venmo,
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts. OTR Friendly Debate.